What if the biggest reason you feel broke isn't because you don't make enough money, but because you were taught the wrong story about fun? Here's the mystery. Why do so many people believe that saving money automatically means a smaller life, fewer experiences, less joy, more sacrifice, when history quietly shows the opposite pattern? Somewhere along the way, we accepted a dangerous assumption that fun and financial security sit on opposite sides of a line. Step toward one, and you lose the other. But that assumption wasn't accidental. It was built. And once you see how it was built, who benefited, who paid the price, and why it keeps repeating, you'll never look at your spending the same way again. To understand how saving money became synonymous with boring, we have to rewind. For most of human history, entertainment was cheap or free. People sang, told stories, played games, shared meals, and celebrated together. Fun was social, local, and low cost. Spending money wasn't required to feel alive. That changed dramatically in the 20th century. As industrialization surged, companies faced a new problem. Factories could produce more goods than people naturally needed. The solution wasn't better products, it was better desire. Advertising emerged not just to inform, but to convince. Fun, status, freedom, romance all were gradually attached to consumption. By the mid-1900s, fun wasn't something you did. It was something you bought. Vacations meant flights and resorts. Relaxation meant restaurants and bars. Celebration meant shopping. And quietly, saving money began to feel like saying no to life itself. But this system didn't collapse overnight. It rose smoothly, comfortably, and by the time the cracks appeared, most people were already inside it. Where the trade-off began. The real origin of the save or enjoy life dilemma sits at the intersection of consumer credit and cultural messaging. When credit cards became mainstream in the 1950s and 60s, they solved an immediate problem: access. Suddenly, you didn't need to wait to afford fun. You could have it now and worry later. At the same time, advertising evolved from showing products to selling identities. You weren't just buying a car, you were buying freedom. Not just a vacation, but happiness. Not just dinner out, but connection. Saving money, by contrast, had no emotional marketing campaign. It was framed as discipline, responsibility, delay. Fun was now loud and colorful. Saving was quiet and invisible, and that imbalance mattered. Because systems reward what they promote, the golden age of spend to live. By the late 20th century, this mindset exploded. Economic growth rose. Credit expanded. Entertainment became an industry measured in trillions. Experiences were increasingly curated, packaged, and monetized. The message was simple and seductive. Life is short. Spend now. And for a while it worked. People felt richer even when they weren't. Wages stagnated, but lifestyles expanded. The gap was filled with debts, subscriptions, payment plans, and the comforting illusion that tomorrow would somehow take care of itself. Fun became scheduled, expensive, and optimized. And saving money? That became something you'd do later. When life slowed down, when you were older. When you had time, but systems built on delay always collect their cost. When the math stops working. The breaking point didn't arrive with one dramatic crash, it crept in. Housing costs surged. Healthcare exploded. Education ballooned. Meanwhile, real wages stalled. The old formula, spend freely now, save, eventually started failing at scale. People weren't just stressed. They were confused. They were doing what society told them to do. Enjoy life, treat yourself, don't miss out. And yet they felt trapped. One unexpected expense away from panic. 1 month behind from collapse. Fun had become fragile. And here's the paradox. The more expensive fun became, the less enjoyable it felt. Because joy borrowed from the future carries interest. The emotional cost of the trade-off. The fallout wasn't just financial, it was psychological. People began associating money management with deprivation. Budgets felt like punishment. Saving felt like missing out. Even when people wanted to be responsible, the emotional weight made it hard to sustain. This created a loop: spend to feel better. Stress about money. Spend again to escape the stress. Fun became the coping mechanism for the very system that made it expensive. And this is where the story twists. Because at the same time this cycle deepened, a quiet counter-movement was forming. Why most advice doesn't work. Financial advice tried to respond but mostly failed. Some said, just cut everything. Others said, you deserve nice things, just earn more. Both approaches missed the root cause. Extreme frugality stripped joy from life. Hustle culture postponed joy indefinitely. Neither challenged the underlying assumption that fun and saving were enemies. As a result, most people bounced between guilt and indulgence, never building momentum, never feeling secure, never fully enjoying either side. But systems don't break until someone designs a better one. Patterns repeating today. Fast forward to now. Subscription fatigue. Experience inflation. Affordable luxury. Social media turning leisure into performance. The pressure to spend has never been louder or more visible. And yet, the data reveals something shocking. People who consistently save even modest amounts report higher long-term happiness than those who spend more impulsively. Why? Because fun that doesn't threaten your future feels different. Free or low-cost joy isn't fragile. It doesn't need recovery time. It doesn't come with regret. It compounds instead of decaying. We're watching the same pattern repeat. Systems sell the idea that joy is expensive. Reality proves joy is resilient. Reframing the truth, the hidden connection. Here's the truth most people never hear. Saving money doesn't kill fun. It changes who's in control of it. When you save, fun becomes intentional instead of reactive. When you save, you stop outsourcing joy to purchases. When you save, you gain the freedom to enjoy without fear. The mistake was never liking fun. The mistake was believing it had to cost you tomorrow. Fun is not a line item, it's a system. If joy only exists when money leaves your account, it will always feel scarce. Build fun into habits, relationships, and routines, not transactions. The most expensive fun is the kind that creates financial anxiety. True enjoyment doesn't require recovery, financial or emotional. If it does, it's not freedom. It's a loan. Saving isn't sacrifice, it's delayed amplification. Every dollar saved expands future choices. And choice is the raw material of fun. Here's the warning: if you don't redefine fun on your own terms, the system will define it for you and sell it back at a premium. The question isn't whether you can afford to save money and enjoy life. The question is whether you can afford to keep believing they're opposites. If this changed the way you think about money and enjoyment, let me know in the comments. What's one way you found fun without spending more? And if you want more stories that unpack the hidden systems shaping your finances and how to escape them, subscribe. Because the most powerful upgrades aren't louder lifestyles. They're quieter assumptions,